And on the last breath, breathe in, full breath, lift the chin, stretch the front of the throat. Moving carefully, exhale, draw the chin down towards your chest. Draw the air all the way out, empty. And inhale, one more, lifting, feeling that stretch. And then exhale, releasing. Try to bring that chin level with the floor. Draw the shoulders downward, lengthen the back of the neck, turn your head to the right. Eyes can be closed so you have a little more awareness of what your body's doing. And then over to the other side, turning your head slowly, noticing your range. One side's tighter, usually, and over to the right, just 2 times. And one more to the left. Bring your head to center. Lift your shoulders straight up towards your ears and squeeze the top of your shoulders, the traps. And release the shoulders straight down. So the scapula bones are drawing down the rib cage. One more, inhale, lifting, just opening up, lifting up, feeling the side body kind of lift up. And then release the shoulders away from the ears. Draw them down the back. Take a breath in, full breath. Exhale through the mouth. 2 more, inhale. And exhale. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And every time letting go a little bit more. Inhale. And exhale. Bringing the head nice and neutral and draw those shoulders back slightly and draw the navel to the spine just a tiny bit to get some length in the mid-back. And then flutter the eyes open. Or keep them closed if that feels okay. Rotate the shoulders around in a circle. Feeling some movement, finding some warmth. So we're lubricating those joints, creating a little more heat between the muscles, ligaments, and tendons. Waking up. And you might want to open your eyes here. Bring your fingertips right behind your head on just one side. So the right side, fingertips behind the head. And then draw the elbow to the side. Draw the elbow to the back, keeping the head neutral, using your hands to keep it nice and level. And then bring the elbow forward. Stretching our shoulder, drawing it back. And then forward. Just doing one side at a time, just really tuning into that shoulder. Yeah, draw that shoulder back. Light touch of the back of the head. Bring the elbow to the side, extend your arm to the side, nice and long. Palm faces upward. Reach it long, and then rotate in the socket. Palm faces downward now. Reach it long. Good. And then rotate upward. Palm upward. We're going to do a side body stretch. So lift it up overhead. You can drop your fingers to your shoulder if you're not lifting your arm. There's always modifications. So just lean, feel a stretch in the side body, and release that arm. It's already tired. Rotate the shoulders, loop them up and back and down. Fingertips to the back of the head, other side. Elbow to the back, head stays level. And then bring that elbow forward. And this is that stretch on that left side. Oh, waking up that shoulder. And you can groan. Groaning's good. Making noise. Breathing is great. Finding some length in the spine as you draw that shoulder back. One more time forward. And then bring that elbow to the side. Extend your arm to the side, palm up. Palm down. Reach it long. Not higher than your shoulder though. Inhale, palm up. Reach it long. Spread the fingers, extend them long, and then inhale, lifting, leaning, finding that crescent pose, figure C. And inhale the arms, slowly descend it down. Nice and easy. Float it down. Rotate the shoulders, loop them, draw them down. Drop the chin down once again. And then bring your fingertips to the back of the head, both of them. Draw the chin a little further, not pressing, but just use the muscular energy to draw the chin closer to your chest. Then open the elbows nice and wide. Lifting the head, and now I'm going to press. I'm going to do this little massage at the base of the skull. So I'm going to use the tip of my thumbs and then press into the skull and the soft tissue there, not into the bone so much. And then lift your head into your thumbs if you can. If your thumbs don't like this, you can modify somehow and not press so hard. And then bring your head to neutral. Bring your chin to level. Draw the elbows all the way back as far as they'll go. Feel that stretch and warmth in the shoulder. And now we're going to see if we can tap our elbows together to the front. And then open wide, spread your wings, baby wings, and to the back. Drawing the navel in, sitting right on top of those sit bones, tapping the elbows together. Open the elbows wide. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, dipping the right elbow over to the side if you can handle a little bit more here. Slowly descend that elbow down and then come back to center. Oh, I think I just broke a sweat here. And then over to the other side, lifting the right elbow up, dipping the left elbow as close to the floor as you can get it, keeping the head pretty neutral as switching that up a little bit. And then draw the elbows one more time to the back and one more time, tap. And open. Now we're going to extend both arms to the side. I know your arms are tired. All right, palms up. Extend the arms long. This is how we warm up. Fingers are straight. Elbows are not bent. And then rotate in the socket, palms down. Lengthen, lift, draw the navel in, press down into the ground with all four corners of your feet. Palms up. Did you break a sweat yet? All right, with an inhale, breathe those arms overhead. Oh, they're so heavy. Touch the hands together. Well done, everyone. I know it didn't look like anything, but it was a lot. All right, keep the hands together at the heart. Drop the thumbs a little lower on that bone, the chest bone there, and just draw that hand right into the center of the chest. See if you can join your wrists. And if you can, lift your elbows up, but not your shoulders. Can you depress the shoulders as you lift the elbows? And then slide the hands over to the right shoulder, keeping the head neutral. And back to center. Over to the other side, a little bit of push with the right hand, elbow flies to the left, yikes, and back to the center. You wanted spicy, and over to the other side. One more time, we're gonna look to the left as our hands go to the right, and back to center, and over to the other side, look to the right, hands go to the left. Your fingers starting to talk to you, and your shoulders relax. Breathe. And then point your fingers straight ahead, extend the arms about chest height. Interlace your fingers, inside out hands, press the palms away. Bend the elbows, inhale, exhale, press. Inhale, bend the elbows, exhale, press. Yes, we're going to lift the arms or not. Keep the hands there or lift the arms overhead. Hands are inside out, palms are facing the sky. Lengthen the arms, lift out of the pelvis, lift the shoulders, and then drop the hands right to the top of the head. And lift. All right, hands go behind the head. Can you bring them behind the head like that? All right, press that head, and that's your imaginary wall. Draw the elbows back, knit the ribs inward. Hold here, take a breath in, press down, lift up, and then dropping the right elbow over to the side. Rib cage stretch, back to the center, over to the other side. So I'm only going at the waist here. And back to center. All right, take the hands off the head, spin them inside out, press the hands toward the sky, and then back about chest height. Bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra, palms together. Bow the head, take a breath in here. Inhale, exhale. Feel that warmth in the shoulders and the neck. All right, point the fingers straight away, extend the arms long. Interlace your fingers the other way with the other index in front. Inside out hands. Extend the arms. Inhale the arms overhead. Lift the shoulders, have a good stretch, and then relax the hands to the top of the head. Let's just do that one time. Inhale, extend. And then hands to the top of the head, hands to the back of the head. Press the head into the palms gently. So you lengthen the back of the neck, dipping the elbow over to the left, just a waist bend. And keeping the head in contact with your hands as you dip over to the other side. Yeah. And back to center. Take your hands off your head, spin the palms straight up. Have another good stretch. Lift your chin, look up at your hands. Breathe in, look straight ahead. Bring the hands back to chest height. And then rotate the palms so they face up, and I still have my interlace. Yeah, like that. And now I'm going to draw my hands apart, but keep the interlace feeling a spread right underneath the armpits and into the upper back, into the scapula bones. And then drop the elbows down for a moment. Keep your hands where they are for just a sec. Rest, take a breath. Unlace your hands, relace the other way with the other index in front. And then lift the elbows and pull. And bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra. Maybe touching your thumbs right in the center of your chest. And then take your hands apart and give them a good shake. Open and close into a fist. And then rotate your hands doing this swirling action, sculling your hands. Yeah, and go the other way. Move your fingers, stretch them long, feel that stretch in the thumb. And go the other way. And reverse. Give your hands a little shake, open and close. Drop your arms to the side, inhale the arms overhead. We're going to hook our thumbs above our head. So see if you can hook your thumbs and then spread the fingers kind of like that. This could be rabbit ears when you're doing shadow puppetry. And then pull apart, just like we did with our hands interlaced. And relax. And just pull apart. Just feel that opening across the back, across the chest. And now see if you can grab a hold of your thumbs the other way, which is very awkward, and give it one last pull. Spread the fingers wide. Bring the palms back together. Release them straight down. Slowly back to the chest. So contact there, contact, yeah. Lift the elbows, drop the shoulders, drop the head. Breathe in, breathe out. Full breath in. Release the arms to the side. Lifting the left arm overhead, we're going to come into another crescent pose. Look down at the floor, reach your right arm long, see if you can touch the floor. The top arm is pretty close to the head, maybe in line with your ear. Now this is a full side stretch. And then lift that bottom arm back to the top. And we'll change sides. Slowly release it down. Carefully lean. Feeling that side body stretch. We're trying to open up that lower back. Reach that bottom arm really long. Try to touch the floor. And then lift both arms overhead. Touch the hands together. Back to the heart. Right where we started. Release your hands to your legs and slide the hands a little further towards your knees and come into your version of your cat. So we're going to stretch all of that out because we've been sitting for a few minutes now. Oh, lower back, right? And then come to a neutral spine. Again, just a cat. So no back bend this time. Into your cat, we're going to do this a couple more times. And find neutral right on top of the sit bones. So we're going to stretch where the piriformis meets the sacrum, the inner edge. And draw the navel in as you drop the head down in a full curve, doming the back body. Last cat. All right, come into your cat. Drop the head down. We're going to take our left arm at a diagonal like that. Now we're going to saw forward. So lean to the right, extend like you're trying to reach someone's hand, and then back at a diagonal. This feels really good in the that area of the spine. I hope you're liking this. And back. Now, if your shoulder's doing something that doesn't feel right, plug it in. And if you want to reach it when you reach, great. But then plug it in. And then lean at a diagonal. So I'm going at a diagonal over the right leg, extending my arm, keeping my head nice and neutral. Last one. Find a neutral spine, lift that arm, swing it around. We're going to come into a twist. So let's go to the right, left hand, right leg. And just come into your twist to the right. Slow and steady breath. Now the head is secondary, remember that. So it's about the spine, the lower back, the rib cage. Inhale, unwind all of that. We're going to do one cat. Come back to the front. Dome the back body, drop the head down. And then we're going to change sides, lifting that arm. Reach over the left leg. This diagonal rock, back and forth. Oh, yeah. Big stretch in the lower back. And back. Now this one, I'm going to really reach this right arm as long as I can get it. And then plug that shoulder into the back body as you rock back. Let's do two more. Breathing as you go. Be careful here. Just do what feels good. Last one. Rocking back. Finding neutral and then lifting the arm forward and upward. Coming into a twist to the left now. That was a big hoo-ha to get into a twist, but that's okay. Come into a twist, your version. Making sure you're sitting very tall in your spine, not slooping, sloping, slumping asana, right? So nice and tall, right over the sit bones. Kneecaps are pointing forward, feet are parallel. I'm adjusting my feet. And remember, the head is secondary. See if you can find some turn in the belly. All right, with an inhale, unwind that twist. One cat. Make it a good one. And one cow. So here's our back bend. I'm just kind of sliding my hands a little closer to my torso as I lean over my legs and stretch the front of my body. And find neutral. So lifting the head like that, usually, takes a little while to warm that up. Go and grab your block. So I mentioned the piriformis muscle. It's a very deep muscle. Goes through the glute area, underneath the glute. And it starts at the sacrum, on the inner edge, where all those little holes are on the edge of that bone. Goes through the pelvis alongside the sciatic bundle nerve. And then that muscle attaches to the leg bone up here in the femur. So take your block and set it against the ankle of your right foot. Like that. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to work our way into figure 4 pose. Some of you can do it easily, I realize, but I just want you to try this. So we're kind of anchoring the block against the leg so it won't fall over. And we're going to pick up this other foot and we're going to take the side of the foot on the top of the block. Like that. So drop this knee to the side. So we're externally rotating in the hip. So this is our first big rotation in the hip joint. So I'm adjusting my seat so I'm comfortable. I'm on the edge of my chair. So if I'm too far back, that's fine. Yeah. And if you need to lean back to get your foot on top of the block, you can always change the height of the block. So if that's way too high for you, change the height. Okay, you can do that height. That works too. So I'm going to use that height. Side of the foot is on top of the block. And my left hand is on the inside of my left leg. Yeah, like that. And now I'm going to press into my hand and lift my knee an inch or so. And then release it down. Just moving the knee slightly up and down very carefully. So make sure that block is resting against the other leg so it doesn't move. Okay. All right. So we're going to come into a twist. We're going to go first to the right, away from that bent knee. So hand somewhere. And now we're just going to spin carefully, not too far, to the right. Notice what happens to the knee. Does it change or does it stay the same? And then come back to the front. I know a lot of you can get your foot on the knee. We're going to get there. All right. Lift that knee a little higher. Yeah. Bring your hand again on the inside of the knee, and then with resistance, and the knee, the hand is winning. Draw that knee down, just waking up that hip joint. Now you know some of you that are not going to be doing this, maybe on a hip that was recently messed with. So make sure you take care of yourself. All right, we're going to twist toward the bent knee. So just draw your hand over somewhere and then come into your twist to the left. All right, so we've twisted both sides with the leg like this. Now we're going to fold over the floor. So they're fairly flat back here. And if it's too much pressure on your foot, you could just set it down like this and maybe do that. Maybe just place the bottom of the foot on the block. But if you can keep the foot like that, just a very gentle, not too far, flat back over the floor. If you're not feeling it, no worries. Inhale, come back up. Now place the bottom of the foot on top of the block, like that. So the knee is pretty elevated. Interlace your fingers in front of the knee. We do this a lot. So our legs are pretty together. I would say they are together. So this is a variation. Instead of, sometimes we do this pose where we cross the knees, right? So this is a variation for that pose, where the knees and the legs are coming together. We're using the inner leg muscles, which is very important to establish some balance in our legs and our leg muscles. So interlace your fingers in front of that lifted knee and pull yourself toward it with a tall spine. Now we're going to lean over that leg. Now, if your hands don't really work there, you can just relax them. Not just leaning over that knee. Now I feel it big time in the lower back. And then press down into that squishy block and come to a neutral spine. So there might be something in your room. I just realized that not all of you have a block. So if there's anything in the room that you see, such as a very firm pillow for maybe a speaker, maybe a huge dictionary, something like that could work. All right, other side. Press that block against the left leg. Yeah. And then take this foot, side of the foot lands on the top, knee to the side, open it up, adjust your seat. And then place your hand on the inside of the knee and lift that knee up and down. Sitting right over the sit bones, try not to lean back too much. And lean slightly forward rather than backward. Just to feel that good stretch. That feels really good in that hip joint. So opening up that outer leg and the piriformis. All right, so come to a relaxed position as best you can, sitting taller, turning away from the knee first. So turn to the left. Doesn't have to be far, but notice, I just want you to pay attention to how, when you turn and spin the other way, away from the leg, that the knee may drop slightly, or maybe it lifts slightly, depending on your body. And then inhale, come back to the front, turning towards your knee. Now we're going to spin the other way. Do what you can here. Doesn't matter if you put your hand on your knee or not. And then inhale, come back to the front. Place your right hand on the inside of your knee and lift it up. Now we're going to do this little somatic release and this strengthening for the inner leg. So the hand is going to win. So resistance. And then once you get to where you're going, relax, breathe. We're going to lean over the leg, over the floor. And it's not very far, flat back. Elbows are tucked alongside the ribs if you can. Let's see if we can find some length in the neck. If you're doing that and stressing the back of the neck, or if you're doing that also, let's see if you can lengthen it in line with your upper back. Inhale, coming to vertical, sitting straight. Right over the sit bones and drop the bottom of the foot on top of the block. Interlace your fingers in front of your shin or your knee and pull yourself long. Take a breath here. All right, you can release your interlace. Do whatever you need to with your hands as you fold over your knee. Big lower back stretch. And inhale, coming back up. Take your foot off the block. Take the block so it's long ways. Grab a hold with your ankles and just squeeze the block with your ankle bones. Squeezing, squeezing, a little static pressure. Keep going, keep pressing, and relax. All right, notice the difference between that effort and that letting go. Okay, we'll do that again. Pressing. So we're kind of opening up the hips, spreading the hips apart, and maybe opening up the lower back. This is really good for the lower back. And relax. Blocks are quite handy little things. And press one more time. And this time, I want you to flex slightly to lift upward. So squeeze the block, a static move. Keep squeezing as you lift up. And release. All right. Figure 4 with the foot on the knee. Okay. With the ankle on the knee, I should say. All right. Or same thing. Okay. So either one. Lifting up your left side, lift it towards your shoulder, high enough to place the ankle on top of the opposite leg. So if your foot is on the leg, I want you to take your foot off your leg. And if you need to heel toe the bottom leg a little closer toward the center, do so. See if you can get your ankle on top of the leg. Otherwise, you're using the block like we did earlier. Holding onto your shin. This is a very good move for your lower back, only if you activate the front of your body. Okay, that's important. All right, we're going to fold over that leg. So wherever you're at here, however you're doing it, big stretch, figure 4, pigeon pose. And if you'd like, let go of your shin and then dangle your arms in front of it. Yeah. Yesterday we did rock the baby, I think. All right, keep that top foot flexed. We're going to lift the arms overhead wherever you're at. Soft shoulders, soft arms. And then float the arms all the way down. We're going to do a quick twist towards your foot. Not quick, but so we're going to do another twist. So this is very helpful for the spine. Turning the rib cage, spinning the belly. And inhale, come back to the front, counter twisting the opposite way toward that knee. And then come back to the front. All right, adjust your seat if you need to. Lean back slightly, yeah. And see if you can hover that foot off your leg. Now, if you're on the block, you're just gonna lift your foot off the block. Hover that foot and set it back down. Feel that inner leg? Try it again. Lean slightly, lift it off, and set it back down. Ha. All right, one more. Lean slightly. Can you do this? And lift it off. It's really hard. And then press the heel forward, extend the leg long, and then swing it to the side. Like, about that much, about in line with your left chair leg. Not your leg, left leg, but your left chair leg. So we've got that diagonal. Now your block should be pretty close to you somewhere. We're going to take our hand to the block, our left hand, left leg. So you're going to lean over, see if you can land your hand on the block. If that's way too far down, just land it somewhere. We're just going to land here, and then we're going to do a twist. We're going to turn to the right, keeping the right toes where they are, not moving them. And then adding the arm, if you'd like, into this triangle pose with the hand on the outside of the leg, not the inside. One more breath. I wanted to come out there because it's kind of intense. So breathe a little bit more here. And then inhale, coming back up, release. All right. Other side. So if you need the block, I'm going to place it on the other side for me. You ready? Other side. Lift that knee high. Just lift it up and down a couple times. Coming into figure 4. Ankle on top of the leg, not the foot. Adjust your bottom leg if you need to. Hold on to your shin, pull yourself long. Flex that top foot. And then into this forward. Oh. Yeah. Outer hip stretch, big time. You loving it? We doing it? So remember the foot on the block, that was the other option. Breathe in and out. And then if you want a little bit more, dangle the arms in front of your lower leg like that. Let's take a full breath in here, full breath out. And inhale the arms overhead. Release the arms. We're going to twist towards your foot first. So a quick twist. Turning, spinning, keeping the hips pretty square to the front. Shoulders are soft, always. Inhale, come back to the front. Counter twist towards your knee. Moving slowly with your breath as you come back to the front. Settle your hands back down to your shin. Sit tall. Hands to the side. You ready? Let's do it a few times. See if you can get it off. And release. See if you can lift. If it doesn't lift, no worries. And release. And lean slightly. Give it a lift. And then press through the heel. Extend that leg long. Swing it slightly to the side in line with the right chair leg. Yeah. And then sliding your hand down to your block if you can reach it. If you can't, just slide your hand down to your kneecap or your shin or your leg, anywhere. Because we're going to come into a triangle pose, seated. And if you want to lift that back arm just for fun, feeling that turn of the belly, slight diagonal, looking over to the left, keeping the left toes pointing forward. I'm going to have to adjust this leg. I was kind of doing that. I'm pressing down with that left foot. Don't do what I do. Just do what you do. All right, inhale, coming back up. And release. Sitting tall, come back into a cat. And we're going to go down to child's pose. So I'm going to open up my feet a little wider. My block is visible, so I'm going to grab it. And place it between my feet and then cascade over the legs. You don't have to go down this far. If you do, see if you can let go of the head. All right, wherever you're at, your block could be up here, maybe on the highest point. We're going to slide this block further away from us, like that. We're going to do this back stretch. This is lovely. This is a down dog seated. Feel that stretch all the way down to the glutes, to the top of the thighs, up to the crown of the head. Breathe. And if you've dropped your head, lift, look up at your block, slide that block towards you. Drop your head, roll one vertebrae at a time, coming back to an upright, vertical position. Once you get to the top, close your eyes, adjust your seat. Breathe in and out. So good. And open your eyes. All right, get that block out of the way so we don't trip over it. Bring your hands to Genie. Do the way that is not habitual. So one habitual, unhabitual one on top. So in Genie arms, right? So we're going to come to standing this way. So if you don't want to do that, you want to use your hands to lift off. Leaning forward, shifting your weight. And then straighten the legs, extend the arms long overhead, and release. All right, everyone's making their way to standing. We're going to use the seat of the chair. And if you are not bending over that far, you're going to use the back of the chair. If you're bending over that far and using the seat of the chair and you have a block, we're going to do side angle and triangle pose, both of them. All right, and I'll tell you how. I'll give you some cues here. So place that block right on the seat. Bring your feet wider than your hips. Make sure your toes are pointing in the same direction. Bring your hands to your hips. And now we're going to guide the pelvis for a second. So take your tail feathers and then flap them back. So we're kind of dumping in the front. My legs are fairly straight with soft knees. And now I'm going to take my hips neutral and then forward. So I'm not doing that. I'm not rounding, but I'm just drawing the hips forward like that. Yeah. And then find neutral. And then draw your tail feathers back. And then neutral. And then forward. Soft knees though. And neutral. One more time. Tail feathers to the back. Keep action in the front of the body when you do that. And then neutral. And then slight pressure into the front of the hips. Soft knees. All right. Find neutral. Keep your legs where they are. Feet pointing straight ahead. Bend one knee. Find center by straightening that leg. Bend the other knee. So shifting your weight side to side. And to the other side. Changing sides, just feeling that stretch in this area, the inner leg. Stay very vertical. Now, if you're leaning over the ground, that's a totally different thing. I want you to stay vertical for this. I want you to bend that knee any amount. It can be very slight. It doesn't have to be a lot. And this leg is straight, even though it doesn't look like my leg is straight. It's straight. Find center. All right. Center your pelvis. Drop your arms to the side. Keep your feet where they are. And we're going to lift the arms overhead and cross the arms like this. And now we're going to lean forward, bend the knees, and lift. Cross the arms the other way. Bend forward. Got it? And straighten the legs. Lift the arms. Inhale. Changing sides with your cross. Little brain thing here. Inhale, lift. Cross the arms the opposite way. And down. Lift the arms. Two more. And down. You're doing it. And lift. Cross the arms. And down. And lift both arms overhead. Look up at your hands. Ground down into your feet. Soften the backs of your knees. And then touch the hands together to the heart. Yeah. All right. Now my legs are straight, but I have a soft bend in them. Okay. So I'm not hyper extending the legs to the back, right? So just a soft bend. Bring your hands to your hips. And you're going to turn your right foot. I'm not going to mirror you this time. Turn your right foot so the toes point towards your chair. We're going to come into a side angle, which means we're going to bend this right knee. And I'm keeping my shoulders and my hips facing you to the side of the mat. And I'm going to extend this arm and plant this hand on the block. Yeah, like that. That's it. So if you're leaning over the floor, your chest is over the floor, see if you can get your chest to open a little bit and just figure it out here. And if your knee is way beyond your toes, wiggle your toes a little closer to your chair. Press down into the floor with your heel and feel that spread across the chest. And then take this opposite arm and align it all the way down to your center of your foot. So I'm going to bend my knee slightly. So I'm going to find this line, that line. You can even, if you look at your screen, you might be able to see and figure it out. Yeah, like a mirror. All right, we're going to come into triangle straight away by lifting. So this arm overhead is not necessary. You can keep it here at the hip. We're going to lengthen that right leg, soft bend, coming into triangle. So this hip is going to the left. This leg is straightening. Yeah. And you can keep this left hand on your hip or lift it over at a diagonal. And if it's too much, don't put too much weight into that wrist, keeping your chest nice and open. All right, engage the belly. We're going to lift up and turn towards your chair. Step that left foot in. We're going to come into our version of down dog. Just a quickie, so don't make a big deal about it. We're going to stretch both sides evenly, bend the knees, and then see if you can find some length in the back of the legs with soft knees. We did the seated. Now we're activating the backs of the legs. Oh, big stretch for that piriformis. All right, walk your feet. Told you it was a quickie. Walk your feet back to your chair. And we're going to change sides, so I'm going to do that. All right, standing with your feet pretty wide, toes pointing in the same direction. Bring your hands to your hips, soft knees. Bend both knees, and, like slightly, and then straighten both legs. I'm hesitant to do that actually. So stay here, soften both knees, standing tall, and spin this left foot so the toes point toward your chair. That block is still in the center of the seat. Bending the left knee, we're going to place this left hand on the block. If you can go down further and don't need the block, no worries. I'm going to inch my front foot a little further toward my chair so I get that knee directly over the top of my foot. And then draw that right shoulder back so your torso is facing your screen. Right hand on the hip, left knee bent, back leg is really straight and long. Now if you want to add the arm in our side angle, feeling that stretch all the way down to the foot. This is for sciatic. This is one of the poses of a group of poses for any pain along that back of the leg. All right, now we're going to come into that triangle pose, and I'm going to go right into it. I'm going to lift this top arm at a diagonal. Palm is facing you, and straighten that left leg with a soft back of the knee. Hold here for a breath. Feel that hip going that way, over to the right. See that hip's going that way, and my chest is flat. I'm not leaning over the ground if you can help it. That's it. And inhale, coming back up using all of your extra energy, all that extra energy. And then turn the toes face forward, lift the arms upward, touch the hands together, bring the feet together in Tadasana Mountain Pose. So if you'd like to bring the toes to touch or the feet hip width apart, do what feels good. Standing steady and easy on both feet. Light gaze, soft knees, lifting the kneecaps upward, engaging the front of the thighs, drawing the navel to the spine. All right. Give your legs a little shake. Bring your arms into genie, either arm on top. Bring your feet a little tiny bit wider than your hips. And we're going to just lift a knee and change. We're going to do some marching with our genie arms. So lower your arms lower than your shoulders. So if your arms are up here, drop them down so it feels at ease. And just lift and lift And let's do a couple more. Last one. Dropping that foot, relaxing your arms, keeping your feet where they are. Come back into mountain pose just for a breath. All right, another set with the arms changed, change sides, and then lift. See if you can get your knees to touch your arms. Can they do that? So lifting those knees as high as you can. And a couple more. Two more. Last one. And release the legs, release your arms. And find your way back to your chair. So let's do that. Take your block. So you can do that marching anywhere, anytime. Okay. And also the figure four idea, you're not going to be carrying a block to the bank, not that you're going to the bank. But if you're standing in any line, it seems like we do stand in a few lines lately. You can always stand on one leg, maybe just hover a foot, holding onto the cart, and doing any of these exercises when you're out and about in your daily lives. And if you're having to sit and wait in line, you could always come into this pose and just sit there and just find that tall spine and that engagement of the belly and all those things that I always mention. You can always practice that anytime you're sitting for any length of time. All right, come back into a cat. Stretch out your spine. Forward into a cow. Find neutral. Twisting to the right. Inhale, come back to the front. Change sides. Turn the other way. Keeping the hips right square on the chair. It should feel pretty good in that lower back. Side of the hip. Find center. Lift the arms to the side. Swing the right arm across your chest and stretching your shoulder. We did some shoulder work today. Turn your head away from your hand. Feel that stretch in the outer arm. Open the arms nice and wide. Left arm across the chest. Swing that other arm underneath. Bend it. And then gently press. And draw the arms to the side. Lift the arms, inhale. Well done, everyone. Finding your way into Shavasana, our resting pose, for a few moments. So sit back in your chair, let the back support your spine. Rest your hands, maybe turn them up. You could even do a chin mudra, which is the index and the thumb in a circular position. Do that. Just rest the hands facing down, maybe the palms facing up. Maybe try something new in your Shavasana seated. If you're lying on the floor, support your knees or your head if you need. Resting comfortably, easy. And just surrender, release everything, relax.